Hi, Susie here from Helix Baby and Salisbury Sling Library. So today I am going to be demonstrating and explaining about my carrier of the month, and this month, which is, what month are we? June 2020. It's all a blur, isn't it? But it is June. And this month the carrier is the BECO GEMINI cool version. Okay, so I'm going to be demonstrating that and telling you a little bit about it, and then telling you where you can get one or where you can hire one from. Okay, so I think I am a couple of minutes late, so I'm just going to get going. All right, so the BECO GEMINI cool. Now, the BECO GEMINI is probably a carrier that some of you have heard of. And this is the cool version. It is very, very similar. Exactly the same in how it adjusts and how you wear it. But obviously the biggest difference is what it's made of. So it's mostly made of this lovely mesh, breathable, they call it 3D mesh, whatever that is. But it is super breathable, and it is really nice and thin as well. The other parts of the material is microfiber, so the coloured bits, that's made of microfiber. So again, very thin, and another quality of those materials is it dries really quickly. So if you get caught in a shower, for example, come home, hang it up, and it dries really quickly. If you need to wash it, it's one of the fastest drying carriers that I've washed, and I've washed a lot of carriers. So that can be really, really handy. Some slings and carriers are made of really thick material, and sometimes they take a couple of days to dry, especially in the winter when you have to hang it up inside. And so that's a really good plus point of this carrier. So how does it work? What I like about it is that it is simple. It is really simple to adjust. So you have poppers. Hello Marcus, hi. So you have poppers each side of the waist, and you pop them onto those poppers on the outside of the panel. So I've just adjusted the carrier from the wide setting to the narrow setting. So if you have a newborn or a small baby, you need the narrow setting. Okay, so you can see how narrow that is. What we want to achieve is a knee-to-knee fit for baby. Okay, so that was really super easy, just 2 poppers. Okay, this is also, when your baby is old enough, this is also the setting that you need if you want to do forward facing with your baby. I'll get onto that a little bit later. Okay, so that's the adjustment on the panel. There is no adjustment in the height of the panel. Okay, so I'll show you a tip of how to make sure you get the right height on the panel when you put baby in, without obviously having any adjustments to change that. But it does make it really simple to use. There's only one adjustment that you need to worry about. So people often ask, when do you have to change the setting, the narrow setting to the wider setting? Now that obviously varies from baby to baby. I've had 4 months old that are big enough to go onto the wider setting, and then other babies are 8 months when they need to go onto the wider setting. What it depends on is how leggy your baby is, okay, how long their legs are, because you always want to have your baby as near as possible to a knee-to-knee fit. Okay, it's really important that as baby's growing, you will obviously have this overlap because it goes from narrow to wide. So you will have baby, if I just grab a baby and I'll show you. So you will have some overlap with baby being slightly too big for the narrow setting. You can see that this baby, his knees are there and there. Okay, so this baby would need to be on the wider setting, but you can see that as baby's growing, you will have a little bit of an overlap before baby is ready to go into the wider setting, because what you don't want is to put baby too early into the wide setting. You don't want baby's legs being extended like this. That's not good for baby. It's not comfortable either. You need to make sure that when baby's in the carrier, baby has free movement from the knee down. Okay, so that's really important. It's something that you just need to gauge, and then just try it out. If you think baby's ready, try on the wider setting, see whether baby fits and has free movement from the knee down on both sides. If not, just pop back into the narrow setting again. Okay, so I'm going to pop it back into the narrow setting, and I'm going to put my little baby in. So what I've done with the waist is quite chunky. There's a lot of support there. It is, I think it's actually a little bit thinner than the standard Gemini. I could be wrong, it could be exactly the same, but maybe it's just the material around it feels a bit thinner. But it is still quite soft. So it's supportive yet quite soft. Okay. It also has this lovely, really handy pouch that can fit your phone in. It can fit your keys in. Just the things you need just to grab quickly before you go out on a walk. So that's really handy. So I'm putting it on my waist. One nice big buckle. And look, there's loads and loads of room for adjustment. So this should fit lots of different sized people. Okay, lots of adjustment in that. Okay. Right, let's put baby in. So I've got a small baby. Okay, this baby's sort of like about a month old, something like that, age-wise. So the panel is going to be that just a little bit too long for baby. Okay, so I'm on the narrow setting. So baby should fit nicely knee to knee in that little froggy position. Okay, but when I'm bringing the panel up, you see it's just coming too high. Okay, what you want to achieve, you don't want the panel coming any higher than the bottom of baby's earlobe. Okay, so that you can still see baby clearly and monitor their airway and breathing. So what we do is we slide baby just back down the panel just a little bit. Did you see that? So ideally where those little poppers are, that's where we want to aim to pop baby. Okay, so just down a little bit, still in that lovely M position, and then when I bring the panel up now, it's coming into the ideal place, just at the bottom of baby's earlobe. Okay, that position there, that gives baby a little bit of neck support, but you can still monitor them and you can still see that they're breathing and they're safe. Okay, so you bring that up, always supporting baby. Now these straps you can cross and you can do rucksack. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to cross them, because I always say you usually get a better fit when you cross the straps around your back. Broad, if you're particularly broad in the shoulders, or guys who are particularly broad in the shoulders, they sometimes find the rucksack straps more comfortable and a better fit. But otherwise, try crossing them first, and then try, if you're not happy, then try rucksack straps. Okay. So I'm always supporting baby. I've thrown one of these over my shoulder, and I'm reaching back, pulling down and around. There is a little elastic. That is a little safety feature. You're supposed to thread the buckle through there before clipping. Okay, it's a little bit of a faff, but it's because, and always pull the tail through, because if it fails, or if you have a very clever baby who figures out how to fiddle with that and undo it, it saves baby from falling. Okay, so that's the safety. That's why that elastic is there. It's a safety feature. Okay, Other side, that strap over, I'm reaching back, pulling down and clipping in, and I'm doing the same with that little piece of elastic there. Okay. Okay. Now at this point we want to do just a little pelvic tuck, just to make sure that baby's bottom is down and knees are up. Okay. And can you see now that I've done that, there's no pressure there around the back of baby's knee. Okay. Baby's in a nice position. Okay. Got some head support. Right. Let's go back to the straps. These straps are two-way adjustable. So can you see I've got a strap here that I can pull to tighten that way. If you find that you don't have the flexibility to be able to pull that way, you reach back, you see I've got this one, and you can pull that way instead to tighten. Okay? Obviously the same the other side. Pull that way, or you reach back, and you get that one that's all tucked up, and you can pull to tighten that way. Okay? So two-way adjusters. Okay? What was I going to talk about next? Neck support. Okay, you can see that there's a little flap here. So you want to position baby so that that when it's flapped down, and can you see it's just poppers there, that poppers down and that tidies that out the way nicely. Okay, so when this poppered down, that's the top of the panel. So that's the important bit where you need to have it. Baby's a little bit low. Here we go. At the bottom of earlobe or lower, okay? When baby's bigger, as long as it's under the armpit. So you want under the armpit of baby, between the under the armpit and bottom of baby's ear, okay? But when they're young like this, bottom of baby's earlobe is ideal because you get that extra neck support while they've got wibble heads while they're little. So if they fall asleep or you just want a bit of extra head support around the back of baby's head, easily you can unpop this. And when they're really young, it's really, really important to keep an eye on them and monitor them breathing. So I like to only bring up one side behind the back of baby's head. Can you see it just clips in, a little buckle, and that's also adjustable, a little bit stiff, but you can adjust it so that you get the right fit. And I've got loads of support around the back of baby's head now, but I can still see baby is really comfortable and breathing, and I can easily glance down and monitor them. Okay, so that is the head support and how that works. Okay, so this is a newborn or young baby front inward carry in the BECO GEMINI Cool. Okay, I will show you now a front forward facing option. Okay, so I'm in the right setting for that. Now it does differ for different babies and different carriers what the recommendation is of when you can forward face a baby. I always say don't rush, because when you're forward facing a baby, you put pressure on baby's spine. So baby's spines, when they're young, are totally curved, okay? They're still developing. Baby spines go through developmental stages over 2 years, okay? So at this stage, when they're still young, they are totally curved, okay? When you turn baby round, you are sitting baby in such a position that actually baby's spine is sort of going the wrong way. So there's just added pressure on baby's spine, okay? It also means, it's also sort of that position, baby is sort of leaning forward more, which means it's pulling more on your shoulders, so it's not so comfortable for you. It also means that when baby's facing out, it's a bit more difficult to monitor them. You can't see their face so easily, okay? And that means that baby could be sat there really quiet. You think that they're having a lovely time and they're fine, but actually it could be overstimulation. Babies, it could, a bit like sort of rabbit in headlights. They're sort of like, this is too much, this is too much. And when babies are facing out, they can't in any way turn around and cuddle into you once they've had enough, Okay, so it's just that little bit more difficult to be able to monitor baby to make sure that they are happy. So with all that in mind, we do recommend that if you do forward face, because it's very popular, that you do it for about 20 or 30 minutes at a time, and don't ever let baby sleep while they're forward facing. There's not enough support for their neck and back in this position. So if they fall asleep whilst forward facing, just take them out the carrier and turn them round and put them back in the carrier the right way. The right way for sleeping, that's what I mean. Okay, so I will quickly show you how to do a forward face. So your baby will hopefully be in the larger setting for inward facing. So they'll be, you know, that little bit older before you start forward facing. They might, you know, you might feel that they're ready before that, so that they might still be in the narrow setting. But anyway, regardless, whichever setting they're on, for inward facing, it must be on the narrow setting to face out, okay? And baby must be big enough, because again, when you put baby in the carrier, you might have to, yeah, I'm going to lower this a little bit because this is a bigger baby. Here we go, otherwise baby will be headbutting me. When you bring that panel up between baby's legs, okay, there can be pressure on those legs, so you need to make sure baby's in the right position, but also that baby's legs are big enough to be able to get them in that comfortable position, so there's not pressure on them going outwards like that. Okay, so let's see if I can get a good position with this dolly. So bring the panel up. I'm going to pop that neck support down out the way. Should have done that already, but never mind. So you want the panel to come up, obviously, to baby's chin, like so. You put it on cross straps or rucksack straps, whichever you are normally using. Okay. Now, depending on the age and size of baby's arms can come out the side like that, or they can come out over the top. Okay, that'll be a bigger baby. Okay, so can you see at the moment baby's not in a good position? You want to make sure you've got that really good M position so that baby's bottom is down and their legs are up, okay? And you don't want too much pressure on the legs being splayed outwards, okay? So it's really important to try and get that nice position. It's very difficult with a dolly. Their legs don't quite work in the same way as a real baby, but you can see that they should be in this sort of seated position like this, not just flat down, okay? So I want that seated position with knees up, okay? Similar to when you're facing forward, get baby a little bit further up the panel so that when you bring the panel up, it doesn't come up over their face. I should have put baby a little bit further up the panel before I brought the panel up. Okay, there we go. So baby's in a forward carry. All right, so as I say, between 20 and 30 minutes is long enough. But some people say, you know, my baby loves it. They're really nosy, so they don't like to be forward facing anymore. Okay, so another alternative, which again, it's another carry position that this carrier can do. Another option is to hip carry. Okay, so I'm going to use my slightly bigger baby again, because baby, with a carrier like this, you want baby to have a little bit of neck support and a bit of back strength. So you want them to be a little bit older to hip carry. But it is possible. Okay, so I'm going to use my slightly bigger baby. So because they're going to be inward facing, I've put them on the larger setting. They're big enough, the baby is big enough to fit in the larger setting. So what I've done is I've put it on, but slightly to the side. Okay, all right. I take my baby, sit them down, so I put it on, so far I'm putting it on exactly like I would as if I was doing a forward carry, forward inward carry. This one goes over there. You might need to lengthen the strap a little bit because it's got that little bit further to sort of go all the way round. Okay, there we go, it goes all the way round to there. Again, if you can't pull backwards, reach back and pull that way. Okay, now here's the difference with this one. This one goes underneath your arm. Okay, it goes underneath. Let me turn around. Comes around, and that's how it comes and clips in. Where are we? Clips into this side. Okay, like so. Okay, and again, you've got the two ways of tightening, that one or that one. So can you see that, baby? Do a little pelvic tuck. Make sure baby's comfortable. So now my baby, they can have an arm out, that's fine. My baby has got room to see forward, room to see backwards. They're not into me. And it also means that I've got some extra space of my own back again as well. So things that are maybe a little bit more dangerous if you've got baby on your front, cooking for example, I give an example of if you're stirring something hot, you can face baby away and still stir and still do the cooking if you need to, you know, and things like that. And it just makes it that little bit safer. It just gives you that little bit more room back for yourself, a little bit more of your own space. Okay, so that is a hip carry, and that is an alternative as well to forward facing. Okay, so that is another one to try. And I would personally, I'd be more happy doing a hip carry like this for a baby younger than forward facing. I would definitely wait a little bit longer for forward facing than I would for a hip carry. Okay, so those are 3 different ways of carrying using this carrier. I've told you what it's made of. I've told you how it adjusts. Have I gone through everything? You can do back carrying as well. Okay, so again, once baby is old enough and strong enough to be able to go on your back, usually once baby is old enough to go in the wider setting of the carrier, that's when you can start back carrying as a general rule. Okay, now they do cut, unfortunately, the only sad thing about these carriers is that the cool version does not come in such an array of gorgeous, wonderful patterns and colours like the standard does. This one is a grey. I also have it in navy and black, and I do have a very limited stock of the new pineapple design as well that they do. And I'm afraid those are all the colours. So and I don't think anything else is going to be coming out this year because of the virus, and we've just got very limited stock anyway of them. So because it's my carrier of the month, I've also written a review about it, which is on my website. So please, if you are interested, go and have a look at that as well. There's a code on there that you can use in my shop to get you £5 off. So they retail at 105, so you can get it for £100 this month, okay? And you can also get free shipping as well. So use the code SHIP40 for free shipping for anything, any order that's over £40, okay? Hopefully that's it. Hopefully I covered everything. The weights of the carrier. So this carrier is weight tested from newborn from £7 right through to £35 in weight. Okay, and that usually lasts you to at least 2 years. You probably the child will probably outgrow in size rather than in weight of the carrier. And you'll just find that if you buy a bigger carrier, eventually once they're at that stage, that it would be a lot more comfortable, but otherwise safety wise it would still be safe to use. Yeah, so please have a look at my website and go and have a look at what I have in my shop. And as I say, I've got them in stock now, so I can either post them to you or you can have a local pickup here from my house in Salisbury. I am also doing a try before you buy as well, so you can hire one for 2 weeks and that costs £10. And then if you decide to buy within those 2 weeks, that £10 comes off the cost price of your new carrier. So bear that in mind as well if you want to give it a go before you commit to buy. Okay. Any more questions, or if you are interested, then please just get in touch. So it's Susie@helixbaby.co.uk. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye.